Geisel draws back, looking to pass, steps up, pressure coming, and he gets it to Dance in the end zone. Touchdown! Dance scores a touchdown with 11 seconds left to go. Bulldogs take the lead.
Talk about ice water in your veins.
Beyond the Hatch is Coach Evan Ulery, presented by Bruns Guts Willing. Choose Bruns Guts Willing for your next construction project. Also being brought to you by FCN Bank. FCN, building stronger communities, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Today's guest is being brought to you courtesy of Daisy Doggies Daycare and H&R Block. Coach, man, I'm telling you, you just keep lining up great guests. This one, man, for me personally, a good one to get on the program and one I can't wait to catch up with.
Yeah. I mean, Braiden is just a unique guy and had such a passion for football and kicking and, just someone that I genuinely love and have enjoyed every conversation I've had, from when he was a little scrawny middle school kid to all the way through high school, growing and maturing, and he's off doing really good things. Got into football in college, and he's got into other passions as well. So just excited to catch up with him, see how he's doing, and just overall proud of him.
All right. Well, with that, Braiden, welcome to the program, sir.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. It's good to see you. Let me just. Right off the top, I just have to ask you this question. So, as Coach said, as most of the listeners will know and remember, you were a place kicker for the Bulldogs, and football fans know that is a pressure cooker type of position. Take us right now to your first collegiate kick, the situation, and how'd it go?
Oh, all right. So, first collegiate kick, we lined up. So my first collegiate kick was a little bit unique.
Okay.
Because when I was in college, I was always, or I'm still in college, but I was usually the second string for the first 2 years. And so being able to get in was a little bit harder, but as a kicker, especially because you don't get that many plays. But I had worked and our coach, Coach Morrell, we were playing a really bad team and we were up like 50, and Coach Morrell, being who he is, he put me in. It was a first down play on the 1 yard line. He didn't want me to they didn't want to run the score up. So it was the half yard line. He says, Foster, you're in. I'm like, okay, well, it's first down. So that's different. But I'll go in. My holder, Adam Mullet, he's a great guy. We're supposed to line up at 7 yards. He lines up at 5. So we're lined up. I run out there. I look up the goalpost. I feel like I could touch out like Michael Jordan Space Jam style and touch it. But we line up. I kick it. Luckily, it was a perfect kick. Protection held up. It was really good. Run back. Everybody's super excited. Come to find out, this is unofficial record keeping, but I'll make it official right now. It was the shortest field goal in college football history. 17-yard field goal. So I'm keeping that in my record book. I'll tell my kids I have that. It's unofficial. Nobody keeps the shortest ones, but I'm going to keep it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of pressure because all the pressure led up to that. Yeah, just going out there, doing what I do every time. I'd practice it a million times, especially at Wabash. So yeah, just being able to knock it through. Luckily, it was easier than most, but I was able to get it through.
That's awesome.
I didn't realize the piece there. I just remember Coach Olmstead, right?
Yeah.
I was at a recruiting fair a couple years ago, and he was there for Wabash, and he had been kind of in our region there for a while. I think maybe even when they were recruiting you and all that. And yeah, he sat down and was telling me this story. He's like, yeah, Braiden's such a great kid, and he works so hard, and we wanted to get him an opportunity, get him in a kick, and we got in a game where we get him a kick. And he didn't tell me that it was the shortest, field goal of all time, which for you being a historian, Braden, I mean, that's kind of cool for you to kind of get in the record books, right? I mean, I know you're big into history, so no, that's cool because you usually, I mean, you're looking at most field goals, right, are about 18, 19 yards at that point. Now, did you say was the ball in the middle, or was it on a hash? Because I mean, if it's on the hash,
It was on the left hash.
yeah,
And
of course.
so from where I was lined up, the ball went. So we had a running back. He went down about the half-yard line, probably not even. And he ended up getting hurt, so they didn't have the running back to run it, and they didn't want to run the score up. So they lined it up, and then my holder runs out there, and it's supposed to be lined up at 7, which would make it about an 18, 19, 20-yard kick. But he lined up at about 5. So that made it about 17 from where the ball got put down.
Right, exactly. Which just makes that angle tough. At least it's on the left hash, but yeah, again, it's a tough angle.
It was an interesting view because I remember lining up the kick, and then you don't really look up, and you're like, okay, the goalpost is right there. Well, I looked up, and I was like, oh well, I got to go over here now because it's so close. But
that's
yeah, but I was able to get it through, just push a little bit farther right than normal, and got it done.
Right. So we go back to time when you were here in Batesville. I guess what kind of sparked the interest of getting into kicking and the passion, because you had the passion, right? I don't know if I've ever seen someone have a passion for kicking, or really just a passion for a craft of a specific sport, because kicking is with its skills. So what kind of sparked that and got it going?
Yeah, so as real Braiden Foster fans will know, I was a center and a left tackle back in the day, back in middle school. And it turns out I'm not going to stay at 5'10".
Wait. A center of what?
The offensive line.
Get out of here.
I swear. Hey, there's film. If you go back, you got to dig deep in the National Archives or something, but you find the tape of me playing center. But turns out being 5'6", 150 doesn't last very long when you get to high school. So I grew a little bit, but I still wasn't big enough. So I picked up kicking. I really, honestly, just like going out and watching the ball fly. I literally would go out and kick it. I like watching the ball fly. I liked, hey, if I kick it a little bit different this way, it's going to go this way differently. What do I need to do to get the ball to fly like it does in the pros? So that really just started it. And for me, it really became, meditation almost, because especially in middle school, I had a lot of mental health issues. I was missing a lot of class, and going out to the field and kicking was like, hey, I can just shut everything out. And it was like, caveman mentality, put ball through goal. And that really was able to help me focus on that. And, as it keeps going, like, oh, I might get a position to do this in middle school or in high school. So then that gives you gave me another goal to work toward. So yeah, just literally I would go on YouTube sometimes during class and just watch videos. Sorry, Mr. Lanning, but I just watch videos and go through and just pick up as much as I could. And eventually it becomes a muscle memory that you kind of learn.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, I mean, one where I know it was just a strong passion. And it's interesting that you talk about, some of your, whether it's mental health or, some of the battles you have in that. Many people would think, like, how would kicking, which is probably maybe the most high pressured situation, it's like, we don't really think of kickers until they're on the field, right? And many times, we talk about, no one thinks of the kicker until the kicker gets on the field and he, makes the kick or misses the kick. But, you think of many of the high pressured situations, just in football in general. You think of Adam Vinatieri's and all the kicks that he's made, those are big time pressure. So to think like someone that's maybe battling something that's the position you pick, right? That like a high pressured situation. No, it's unique. And I just remember, and I don't know all the details because it's been a few years now, but I remember Coach Garrett, obviously was your teacher there in 8th grade, basketball coach. And I remember in the spring of your 8th grade year, he came up to me and he said, "Hey, um, do you know much about Braden Foster?" And I said, "No, not other than maybe you had been coming to lift or something." And he said, "He's out at the middle school. He's kicking all the time. I think he's gonna be all right. He's out there tracking his kicks and tallying everything." And so I have to ask, were you actually, out there tracking everything and figuring everything out? I mean, I'm curious.
I know exactly what he's talking about too, because yeah, I mean, I couldn't get onto the high school field, so I'd go to the middle school field, and the middle school field, it's like I think I'd probably rather kick on the dirt at the Kentucky Derby than kick at the middle school field. But the middle school field, yeah, I would go out there. There's big holes in the field, but I'd kind of navigate around them, and especially in middle school with me and Chase Hamilton, he'd go out there because he lived right down the road. He would come fetch the ball for me, and I had an app that it was all by eye because there's no lines, but I would go out there, hey, 30 yards, I'm going to go 30, 35, 40, and then and then we'll track it. You can put in the app where you can put where the ball went. And so, yeah, I mean, I would go pretty detailed on it. I remember seeing Coach Garrett leaving from school a few times. So I definitely believe that he had that conversation with you. So
Yeah, no, and I mean, obviously, I know you guys. Coach Garrett had you in the class, and I think you even managed for him for basketball, if I recall. And you seem like you had a good relationship. And just genuinely, I just remember that conversation with him. I think spring of your 8th grade year, he was about kind of just, I think, again, excited for you, that I think you'd found something, and that, you were diving deep into it and doing a lot of things. And I remember even over our time, you would send me videos of your kicks and, what do you think? And, just being proud, just proud of, of that craft. Cause a lot of that, I'll be honest, I didn't know a whole lot about kicking. So a lot of probably what you were learning, on your own or your camps and with that. So, I guess I have to ask again, is there anyone that has ever been, kind of helped spark that passion for you though, too, or someone that you've kind of looked up to that did kicking that maybe kind of helped, like I said, spark that interest?
Well, I'd say the overall be Adam Vinatieri. He's always been my favorite. He was a Colts legend, Patriots legend. I got to meet him a few times, just in like fan festivals, got his autograph. And so I would write letters to the Colts, and he would actually send back letters and autograph things. So I really appreciated that. That made a big impact on me. Just watching him and how he was able to perform under pressure. And more personally, I remember getting to the high school. You're going to remember this, my freshman year, and Nate Slavin was the kicker. And I think, and to this day, that's one of my favorite people ever. I think I annoyed him more than anyone on earth. But I really enjoyed watching him do his thing. He was really good. Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's out there. I loved playing with Slavin. But yeah, watching him go and do it. And then he was a dual sport athlete. So he would come halfway through practices and kick. And so I was always very impressed by that. Like I don't even want to go out here and kick 5 field goals and stand around and watch practice, let alone go play another sport. And
Right.
So, yeah, Slavin was a big inspiration for me. And then just different kicking coaches I've had along the way that have helped me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I kind of forgot about that. I know, yeah, Nate was our kicker there your freshman year, with that team. And yeah, it is good, it's for all of us in all positions, right? To have kind of that person you can kind of come in and you can kind of see how they do it and how well they do it. And Nate had a really good senior year, and with that.
Bruins Guts Willer is the right choice for your next construction project. We strive to deliver unparalleled service to our clients by focusing on craftsmanship and quality. Our core values of integrity, professionalism, and fair pricing all but ensures our clients receive the best possible experience. Whether it's commercial construction, remodeling an existing space, or even building a luxurious home, we offer a comprehensive suite of construction management services. So before you break ground, give us a call at 812-934-2105. Bruins Guts Willer, building a better future for southeastern Indiana for over 100 years.
You know, Leon, one of the things that I like most about working and living in Batesville, it's the community. Batesville has a little something for everyone, and FCN Bank is the exact same way. Whether it's my personal or business needs, FCN offered me an array of banking products and services that would fit my every banking need. Don't take my word for it. You should check it out yourself at www.fcnbank.com. FCN Bank, building stronger communities. Member FDIC.
Let's run it back. More from Beyond the Hashes.
So one of the things I have to bring up too is I was going through my stuff in my office not too long ago, and I still have it. You remember the mold that you made something, I think maybe in Mr. Hughes's class, and it was KAPT.
Kickers are people too,
right?
Yeah.
And I remember you bringing that to me to one day as a gift. I've kept it, and it's in my office. But that you had to remind me, right, that kickers are people too. Where did that come from?
I think that's originally it was originally like just a saying that was said, and then I think Pat McAfee picked it up. And he made it a really big thing. He sold merch with it, and I had a bucket hat with it that I'd wear out. I look like an idiot, but I love that hat. So just all those different sayings that, because like you said, not many people don't think about the kickers until they're on the field.
Yep.
Well, the people that do think about the kickers all the time are the kickers. So
Right.
That's what keeps us going. I love making little stuff like that. I'm glad to hear that you still have that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that a little bit. The kickers are people too. It sounds like a very solitude existence, right? As a kicker. I mean, Coach even admitted himself, he really couldn't help you out, didn't know a lot about the kicker game. So a lot of your success, your progress, your growth came down to you. I heard you mention camps as well. So kind of talk us through the life of a kicker, whether it be high school or at the collegiate level. What's it like being that guy?
Well, we usually wake up on our yacht and then we kind of hang out. No, we, it's, you go to I've always tried to look at it as I'm just another guy on the team. Just because I have no athletic ability does not mean that I am not on the team. But yeah, I mean, Coach Rory tested me. I have a 23-inch vertical, so I think
like early on, you could probably walk in and be like, okay, he's maybe a scrawny freshman and maybe is a kicker, right? But then by the time he was a junior or senior, to be honest, you come into the weight room, he was stronger than a good chunk of our guys.
Mm.
I mean, he worked his tail off, right? And it's just kind of a testament. So I think going back to kind of what you were saying, Terrence, is like, I mean, a lot of this, Braiden, you kind of developed sort of this ability to take a passion and learn it on your own and going through these camps. I mean, I guess, were there any memories that you have of going to any of these camps or that maybe really made you think like, yeah, I think I can do this at the next level?
Yeah. So I'd say first just getting film out there. My sophomore year, I was able to get some pretty decent film and getting it out there to college coaches because I knew I wanted to play in college. I always thought that was something that would be interesting to me. And if I'm going to go to school, I'm going to play sport as well. Getting the film out there, and I would go to different camps. I remember going to Louisville camp, University of Louisville, and that was really cool, meeting the coaches. All the camps, you really get to meet the coaches, which is really cool because especially when you're like a freshman or sophomore in high school, you look at the coaches on TV and you're like, oh, I'd never get to meet them. And then you go perform in front of them. It's a lot of fun. I remember just being able to get any recruiting letters. That was really like, okay, some people are actually looking at me. I'd be able to get some stuff out there. And it just kind of keeps the passion going. You know, you get that letter and you're like, hey, people are actually watching. Like like this work I'm doing is actually, it's paying off. So yeah, that's definitely, getting those letters and stuff has definitely helped.
You know, just listening to you talk through your process, and coach, I'll share this with you, man. I mean, you know, I got to know Braiden on the other side of the house, whereas he used to work with us in the restaurant delivery business. And one of my first hires, in fact, definitely one of my first football player hires. And what I always admired about Braiden, I mean, and at a young age, he never brought me a problem without a solution. And, you know, for a business owner, dude, you love that. He would come to me and say, hey, I can't work my shift on Saturday, but I already talked to Chase and he's got me covered. And I would like, okay, you know, and I got grown men and women that aren't capable of doing that. But for a high school student to have the wherewithal to say, hey, I've presented this problem, but let me find a solution so you don't have to. I thought it said everything that you needed to know about Braiden. And as you hear his approach of how he approached kicking, you know, tracking his success and his progress and what he wanted to do next. And I think the thing that you just said there, Braiden, I wish every athlete across the state, particularly Southeastern Indiana, but could hear you talk about the importance of, I'm going to put my stuff out there, being proactive on your own, that it's your responsibility, it's not coach's responsibility to get you to the next level, that you took that piece on yourself. And I just think that speaks volumes to who Braiden Foster really is.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, just getting your film out there, especially if you want to play college ball. They have that's their full-time job. Like they can't just always be going out there looking for kids. So you got to kind of put your foot in the door, so to say. And that's, I mean, that's really with anything, especially the different, like, especially since I've been in college, getting into different positions with jobs and internships and stuff. You really got to put your foot out there. I mean, people they're not holding out a pan for you. So
Yeah, so let's, I think that we'll kind of build off that. Braiden is, obviously, one, like, again, you have done a great job of, and I'd say this, you can get in any conversation with anybody. Yeah, I've been around. They will probably the best person at just, you can have a conversation with when you were a kid, grown adults, your teachers, coaches, about anybody on the football team, which can be the most diverse locker room potentially, personalities. But so, and you've done a great job. And I think that's kind of helped allow you, and you talk about getting your foot in the door. So, let's talk about what those next passions and those things that you're up to now that you've been doing. So you kind of transitioned from football into those, if you want to speak on those.
yeah, so playing with Wabash. So I played 2 full seasons. Did 2 full spring workouts. So I did a spring ball, like the whole thing for a season I didn't even play, which was, I mean, I got a little stronger, so I guess it was worth it. But so I played 2 seasons. And then just this last year, I was working at a camp in Maine doing photography. And I kind of thought to myself, like, I'm not like the number one guy, which was completely fine with me. I mean, it's like getting free tickets to a game every time, really. On the sideline is awesome, but I'm not the number one guy, and I love taking pictures. I love making videos. I really picked that stuff up. I was doing odd jobs here and there, filming games for different networks, and I thought, hey, what if because Wabash D3, it's doesn't have the best like exposure on the internet. What if I kind of transition my role and use the other skills I have and this other passion with the same team, and I can help out, promote this school that maybe people don't really know about, and make the brand look better. And so I talked to Coach Olmstead, and he said, "Hey, yeah, I think we can do that." And I was very fortunate and very blessed that I've been able to kind of transition my role at Wabash on the team from player to now social media guy. So I am very fortunate. I get to go everywhere. People that have been on the team, they treat me just the same because I played for 2 years. They've seen me work. So, yeah, I'm a social media guy. I go around. I've got a lot of plans for this upcoming year. This last year, I made all the game day edits, basically anything Wabash social media. I was able to kind of churn it out, and that's a craft now that I'm really working on. I'm still really working on improving that. But yeah, this upcoming year, I've got a lot of big plans for what I want to do, and I think it should be looking really cool. And Wabash football is going to have a big boost on social media.
No, that's awesome, and I think taking that passion goes back to going back when you were in middle school, right? And found that passion, and you realize I don't know if I want to be a center or an offensive lineman, and you find all right, well, I want to still be around it, and you found kicking, and then obviously you've gone to college, and I knew with photography, video work, and all those things. That's like, hey, take a passion. How can I still be a part of this team and help it? Because again, promoting the program, promoting the school, promoting the friends on the team, teammates is a big piece, right? It's a big piece, and obviously recruiting is a major aspect, even all the way down to the Division III level. It doesn't really matter. You're trying to get and recruit kids, so I think it's awesome. So you talked about videoing. I guess, have you had a unique game or a big pressure game that you've had to kind of work under that kind of gives you sort of that feel as if you've been on a game?
Yeah. I mean, the really cool game every year that we have is the Bell game, obviously, Wabash versus DePaul. And it's always a huge rivalry game. I've been on the sideline for 2 of them, and it was a lot of fun. Not always the outcome we wanted, but the atmosphere of the game is just different compared to any D3 game. And so I knew it was getting legit when most games, I just have to wear a Wabash shirt, and people could vouch like, yeah, I know he doesn't look like a player, but he's with us, But against in the Bell game, they actually give you a lanyard that says like media, and it's like, okay, like this is getting legit now. There's police everywhere. You got to have the lanyard going around. So those are always really cool experiences. Just the areas that I'm able to get on the field as a media pass are insane. Like I've been able to get right behind the goal line, get really cool pictures, and then you look up and it's like they're all right there. It's really something. So I've been really fortunate with that, to be able to do that position and be able to turn it for something good.
It's tax season, and your neighborhood H&R Block is here to get your taxes squared away. Just walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund or your money back. So file with confidence, knowing you have expert local help when and where you need it. All year long at H&R Block. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
Call 812-934-4626 to speak with a tax professional.
All right, guys, that's a wrap. Great show, Coach.
Hey, before you go, I got tickets for the game this weekend.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, man.
Oh, man. I can't go, man. Family's out of town. I got to watch the dog.
What? Well, call April Meyer over at Daisy's Doggy Daycare.
What?
Yeah, Daisy's Doggy Daycare, man.
Hold on a second. Let me Google that. Oh, Daisy's Doggy Daycare. She's got her own website. Matter of fact, here's the phone number. I want to call them at 812-932-7877. Why do you like it so much?
Oh, man, she was awesome. She's personable. She's going to take care of you, communicate with you while your dog's there. She's even got a YouTube channel, and you can check out the dog.
That's legit. But what if they're closed up here in Batesville?
Hey, she's got one in Greensburg too, man.
Oh, snap. All right, let's make it happen.
Daisy's Doggy Daycare in Batesville and Greensburg.
Let's run it back. More from Beyond the Hashes.
I've noticed too, you've been doing some behind the scenes work, even some video production, right?
Yeah.
Now, have you Have you had a game yet where it's been high pressured that you're like, okay, we got to get this right? Because again, I've been behind in the truck before myself in my time at Hanover. So like, have you had a moment yet where you're like, this is like having to make a kick,
Yeah.
um,
So this is like during Wabash games and stuff, I'm assuming.
or just in general? Yeah, I know you've done some other games too.
Yeah. So, yeah, Wabash, I've definitely had those moments because being a football guy, like this is a moment. Like if something doesn't happen here, it's not going to happen. The games, you're not going to win, or different situations like that. So, just trying to put myself in the best position. Like, all right, say, hey, it's 3rd and 15. There's a minute left in the game. We're down 4. We need this first down, or we're not gonna really have a chance. So, big moments like that. I know we played a game against Denison, and it was like that, and just being able to get myself in a position like, hey, if we get a big play, it's going to hit over here. So I'm getting over here, just hoping for the best. Luckily, that game we did have a big play, so that turned out pretty cool. But yeah, it's really just getting yourself in position, anticipating, and I think being around football like that, it really helps. Like anticipating, hey, if they get an interception right here, they're all going to be running back. So I'm going to be here, get them running back, celebrating. And I was able to get a pretty cool picture of that. That we've used. Yeah,
No,
so
that's awesome, and I think that makes a lot of sense. That you can, when you've been in it and you can anticipate and you can capture those moments, right? You look at whether it's the Super Bowl, March Madness, the World Series, whatever it is. I mean, the people that are capturing the video, capturing the pictures, doing all those things for the memories, right? And for fans and people in general. There's a lot of craft. There's a lot of work, and passion that gets into it. And I'll give a shout out to Terrence, who's on, obviously with us today. And he does a really good job because I think, again, he's a sports guy and can kind of help capture those moments, right, on the radio or on his calls. And so it's just a great thing that I think sometimes I like to promote, because I think you guys do such a great job and doing just that, for the fans and for the athletes that are involved, whether it's at the college level like you're doing, or heck, even all the way up to the pros, and then obviously down at the high school for us. But man, it's awesome. So the last thing, because I think it's interesting just because of just how unique and just diverse you are, in your we talk about the football locker room. Obviously, you've talked about, with your craft with videoing and picture and photography and social media. Where are you at right now? What are you doing? Because obviously it's a completely different time than it is here in Indiana right now.
yeah. So I am currently in Germany, in a city called Freiburg, Germany. I'm studying abroad for the semester. The semesters here start a little bit shifted from in America. So my real semester doesn't start until about the middle of April. So right now I'm taking different courses through the actual program I'm with. But yeah, it's about 1:30 in the afternoon right now. You guys are still making your coffee. I've been having a whole day. So it's just a little bit different over here. I like to describe it as living life on, like, if you're playing a video game, playing on hard mode. Because you're not using English. It's all German. So I've been studying German. So being able to use that with my roommates or whatever it is, it's a lot of fun being able to speak that, and yeah, just trying to survive over here.
All right. So go ahead and give us what German phrase do you use most?
Do I use most? Let's see. I don't know about phrase. And if I did know about phrase, I wouldn't be able to say them here. But I know that there's a lot of words that I really like that are
okay.
funny.
Give me some.
So a meerkat. You know what a meerkat is? Like
Sure.
the thing that like stands up and does that.
Yeah.
In German, the word for meerkat is Erdmännchen, which, if you literally translate it, means little Earthman.
Okay.
So I just like to envision back in the day, the Germans are going out, they're exploring, they're like, all right, we got to name that thing. What's up? It's like, dude, a little guy came out of the earth right there. Like, oh, we'll just call him Little Earthman. And they're like, oh, that totally works. Let's put it in the book. That was always funny to me.
Who else than Braiden Foster? Dude, I got to tell you, it has been amazing. It's been amazing to catch up with you. Of course, your first kick was the history book's shortest kick in college football.
Unofficial.
That's right. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you, but I'm going to tell everybody that story. But yeah, it's just been really good to catch up with you, man. It sounds like, and I would expect nothing less. It sounds like you make the most of every single opportunity, every single day, and living your best life, man. And just happy for you and glad we got a chance to catch up with you here today.
Hey, I'm really glad to talk to you guys. I could go for another 2 hours if you want. I got enough energy,
Yeah, we see you in the Meerkats. We see you could probably keep going, but all great things they say have to come to an end. Yep. But before you go, Coach has got a little something special for you here, Braiden. We're gonna get you twisted up in what we call Ulery's ultimatum.
Okay. Yeah, I've had these before, and they're pretty scary.
So it's not too bad.
Okay.
It's kind of like me. I may look scary, but I'm not really scary, right? So so we're going to spin it off these new passions of yours. So I'm going to put you in a situation would you rather, be in the video production, the truck, right? The behind the scenes, helping produce the Super Bowl, or on the sidelines doing your craft with the photography and capturing all those moments for the Super Bowl?
So would I be behind the scenes or in the actual studio?
And you're the man. You are the man producing the Super Bowl, right? Or you're on the sideline. You got to pick one or the other.
See, my thing is for most games, I've gotten a chance with Wabash, especially, to actually direct different basketball games behind the scenes, and that's a lot of fun. But for a game like the Super Bowl, I'm not going to buy tickets to the Super Bowl. If I can get paid to go and be in the Super Bowl, that would be awesome. So I think I'd have to take be on the sidelines, and the moments you'd capture, those would live forever. It's the Super Bowl. So the pictures I take, the videos I take, how many times are they going to be used over and over throughout history? So I think for that specific scenario, I'd have to be out there. I'd need to be out there with the players and really get the atmosphere going.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think either would be a win. But yeah, so we'll get you lined up. I'm sure there'll be a time, maybe when the Colts make it back, that
that's this year.
Keep grinding, right? And maybe. You never know. We never know where that passion will go. But overall, man, I'm just happy to get you on here, promote you, right? Because of someone who has done it the right way and has been someone you've developed really good relationships with a variety of people, man, whether it's your peers, people younger than you that have now maybe gone on and graduated. You were always great with the kids when we ran our youth camps, but also just plenty of faculty and teachers and people in the community, as Terrence mentioned. There was never a dull moment with Braiden Foster, and you're just a great young man and doing a lot of great things. And I'm proud of you. I really am, and love you, and really wish you all the best.
And I really appreciate that. And that goes the same way for both of you guys. I really look up to both of you. You've made a lot of impact on me, getting me to where I am today. So when you guys asked, hey, would you like to be on? It was no hesitation. I'd love to talk to you guys. So I really appreciate all the kind words today. And it's been a really fun conversation.
All right, Braiden, again, thanks so much for the time, sir. You travel safe, and until next time, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
This has been an Overtime Media original production presented by Bronze Gutzwiller and FCN Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender. We are profoundly grateful for the support of all of our sponsors, including Daisy's Doggy Daycare and H&R Block. Your continued support is key to our success. So until next time, be sure to like, rate, and subscribe. And as always, be a friend and tell a friend about Overtime Media.